I knew, I knew Janet Jackson as a student at Stirling, where I'd been, and where her husband, Sandy, was a lecturer, senior lecturer. I knew John through Attention and Performance. I knew Paul Bertelsen through Attention and Performance and lots of other links, and I think both John and Paul had spent time at the Applied Psychology Unit. And Wolfgang, I got to know, but I didn't know Wolfgang before. Paul was a kind of special sort of person. He was very much, he was older than the rest of us and had a rather wry sense of humour, a quiet sense of humour. And we were very fond of him. I can remember one occasion when we were meeting in Cambridge and we went to this pub outside run by this rather outrageous gay guy who always had Wagner playing very loudly and elegant young men serving as waiters, and Paul was there with his cap on, and this chap Kim waltzed in and insisted that Paul take his cap off inside, and Paul refused, and we nearly had a standoff, and I can't remember what happened, but Paul was very stubborn about he was not going to take his cap off. And so it's clearly someone who would stand his ground and was very wise, I think. And Wolfgang was someone I didn't know before, but came to like very much and respect very much. And he served as our initial treasurer and did a really good job, very sensible. When I had to, was asked to do a review of cognitive psychology in Sweden a few years ago, he was one of the people I asked to come along and help, and I think he's had a very positive effect on German psychology, and he's just retiring. I was over there visiting him just before Christmas. So, John, I knew from before. In a sense, I think John and I had slightly different styles. John was rather formal and was all in favour of setting up a stichting, a sort of legal framework. And I tended to be more laid back about it and said, oh, well, let's get everybody to come along and it'll evolve. And I was slightly worried because my only experience of stichtings was Attention and Performance, which was very influential and useful, but wasn't the sort of thing that I envisaged. Anyway, John persuaded us, rightly, I think, and it proved to be a very useful framework. And throughout, John and Janet have played a very central role in getting it started, in setting up both the initial meeting and the initial conference. Janet was, I think, a very important figure. She was more junior than the rest. She'd been an undergraduate when I was a professor, although a mature undergraduate. I knew her because our families were friends. My wife and she were close friends. And she was very important. Both, she did a lot of the work. She was sensible, well organized, not formal, and was very good at interacting with members and students, and a sort of Scottish maternal figure, and was very essential to the way the whole system ran. And I think it's tragic that she died so young.